Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we are predicting the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. Los predicciones de la Copa Oro de la CONCACAF. The tournament starts Saturday. So, because we have a World Cup qualifier draw tomorrow and the Club World Cup predictions on Friday, we're doing the Gold Cup predictions tonight. So, there you go. 4 groups, 3 knockout rounds. I'll tell you the results that I think will happen throughout each group to set up each group because I feel like it for this tournament. Instead of just saying the group standings. Because if I did that, at some point y'all be like, you're a bit nuts to make that prediction. Wait. Y'all jaws will be on the floor at some point on this video. So, with that being said, not here though. Mexico, Dominican Republic, the first match of the tournament. Match day 1, 9:15 Central, 10:15 Eastern. Mexico wins 3-1 over the Dominican Republic. Mexico, they should be able to handle a mid-tier, lower-level CONCACAF side that is growing. They'll have their moments to show that they are growing, but Mexico should be able to handle this. 2 years ago, I would say, this could be a problem. Now, no. This is the type of opponent Mexico should not have a problem with, even if they had an okay window. They didn't have an absolute disaster window like a certain other team that is in this confederation. Mexico had an okay window, but they should be able to handle Dominican Republic. Costa Rica, Suriname. I say Costa Rica wins 2-1. They have Miguel Herrera, El Piojo as their manager. They're a solid team. They're a very defensive team, but they show quality at times. Suriname, they have their moments, but El Piojo is going to out-tactic Menzo because who thinks that isn't going to happen? So in the end, Costa Rica gets that win. Could I see it going the other way? In a weird situation, like football any given Sunday, which it would be on Sunday, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, I could see it going the other way, but I still think Costa Rica wins 2-1. Suriname won't be blown out the park, but it's not going to be pretty. Costa Rica versus Dominican Republic. I got 3-0 Costa Rica over the DR. I think Suriname might do better against Costa Rica. I don't know why I have a feeling about that, even though Dominican Republic's had their moments throughout the World Cup qualifiers, and they've had their moments of growth. I just think Suriname might do better against Costa Rica. But Costa Rica gets the win. Suriname versus Mexico, 0-2 to Mexico because it's Mexico. Probably will be a worse scoreline, but I want to give Suriname a chance to not get embarrassed. Or I hope they don't get embarrassed. And finally, the final match day, Dominican Republic 1, Suriname 3. I think Suriname's the better side of the two. And they're more ahead in their forward movement than Dominican Republic. So Suriname gets that win. And finally, Mexico 1-0 Costa Rica. It's going to be a tight game. Mexico, Costa Rica have probably already clinched a spot at this point. By the points, I think they would have. A spot to the next round. So really, it's going to be rotation and tight. And I think Mexico gets a 1-0 win and tops the group. Which means first place, Mexico 3-0-0. 9 points, 6 goals for, 1 goal against, plus 5 goal differential. Mexico finishes first. Second, Costa Rica 2-0-1, 6 points, 5 goals for, 2 goal against, plus 3 goal differential. Suriname third place. We have 1-0-2, 3 points, 4 goals for, 5 goals against, minus 1 goal differential. It was always going to be tough. This was always going to be a tough group for them. I think it is tough. Dominican Republic, 4th place, 0-0-3, 0 points, 2 goals for, 9 goals against, minus 7 goal differential. Mexico and Costa Rica advance. Group B, the group that I really care about, as you could tell. We have Canada, El Salvador, Honduras, Curacao. How will that play out? How will that play out? First off, we have Curacao versus El Salvador. I say Curacao 1, El Salvador 2. El Salvador almost had a disaster during World Cup qualifying. And they at least advanced, but almost a disaster. Luckily for them, they moved on. El Salvador's had some bad moments recently. And still trying to get out of the muck. But I still think they could beat Curacao. I say 2-1 El Salvador. Again, it could go the other way. And it wouldn't shock me. I hope it doesn't go the wrong way for them, because they need something to build on. Canada, Honduras, 3-1 Canada. I'm probably being generous to Honduras, but I think they can score on Canada. But I think Canada wins 3-1. I think Canada easily wins that match at BC Place. I think they are the better team. They're playing at home. I don't think there will be many Honduran fans going to Vancouver, which is good news for Canada, because if they were playing in Texas, I'd be a little bit more, all right, this could be tougher. But at BC Place, I think this game got put into the perfect place to where it is a Canada home game, and they should be able to handle it like they normally would. Next up, Curacao 0, Canada 3. If they don't have a clean sheet against Curacao and beat them 3 or 4-0, there is problems. I will say that right now, point blank period. I think they get a 3-0 win on that. Honduras, El Salvador, 3-0 to Honduras. They're just the better team right now. They have a better manager. They have a better squad. They have a squad that is poised to do things and not have to worry about getting out of the muck. Honduras got out of the muck that they were in. El Salvador still hasn't. They almost did, and then they didn't. Honduras moves, gets the win there, I should say. And then finally, Canada 2-0 over El Salvador. Canada probably has already qualified to the next round. Even if they did lose this match, I don't think they'll take it completely seriously, but serious enough to where they get the job done. They don't get surprised. They win the game, 3 wins on the bounce. And then Honduras, 1-0 Curacao, because I just feel like they need a tight game, or they will have a tight game. So Honduras gets that win, which means Group B, first place is Canada, 3-0-0, 9 points, 8 goals for, 1 goal against, plus 7 goal differential. Honduras, second place, 2-0-1, 6 points, 5 goals for, 3 goals against, plus 2 goal differential. Third place is El Salvador, 1-0-2, 3 points, 2 goals for, 6 goals against, minus 4 goal differential. And Curacao in fourth place, 0-0-3, 0 points, 1 goal for, 6 goals against, minus 5 goal differential. Canada and Honduras advance. Group C, we have Jamaica, Panama, Guatemala, and Guadeloupe. And I think this won't be too shocking, but Panama, Guadeloupe, 3-0 Panama. Duh. Panama is probably the best of the rest right now in CONCACAF. You have the big three. You have the World Cup hosts, which are the big three. Then you have Panama. They're the best of the rest. And arguably, they might be the third best team in CONCACAF right now because, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Panama 3-0 over Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe's a solid team, but Panama is just them right now. It's their time. We have Jamaica 1-0 Guatemala. Jamaica just did beat Guatemala in Jamaica during World Cup qualifiers, which I'm honestly shocked about. But they're playing them, about a week later in the Gold Cup. I still think Jamaica has the quality to beat them. I say they do, but it's going to be tight. No room for error there. We have Jamaica, Guadeloupe 2-0. Jamaica still plays dinosaur football. It should be 5-0 or 4-0 with the talent they have, but they play dinosaur football. So 2-0, but you still get the win. You're welcome. Guatemala, Panama, 0-2 to Panama, because, again, Panama is just that team. Guatemala is solid. They're growing. They're getting better. But Panama's right there. it's going to be tough for Guatemala to get that result. And then finally, Guadeloupe 0-2 to Guatemala. Guatemala wins the match because they're better than Guadeloupe. So Guatemala gets that win. Panama beats Jamaica 2-1. Jamaica gets a goal, crazily enough, but Panama gets 2. Which means first place is Panama, 3-0-0, 9 points, 7 goals for, 1 goal against, plus 6 goal differential. Second place is Jamaica, 2-0-1, 6 points, 4 goals for, 2 goals against, plus 2 goal differential. Guatemala, third place, 1-0-2, 3 points, 2 goals for, 3 goals against, minus 1 goal differential. And then fourth is Guadeloupe, 0-0-3, 0 points, 0 goals for, 0 goals for, 7 goal against, minus 7 goal differential. Panama and Jamaica advance. Group D, the final group. And we have the United States, Trinidad and Tobago, Saudi Arabia, and Haiti. So, I think you figured out where your jaw will be on the floor, but watch this. USA versus Trinidad and Tobago, I have a 1-1 draw in that match. I have Trinidad getting the draw. I think Tyrese Spicer will score the opening goal. The USA gets one back late, similarly to how they played that game against Jamaica 2 years ago in the knockout, or the group stage, my bad, the group stage 2 years ago. A similar type of game where Trinidad looks like they're going to win for most of it, and then they lose the win late on, but in the end, it may not hurt them to draw. 1-1. Then we have Haiti 1, Saudi Arabia 2. I think Saudi Arabia has the stronger squad than Haiti. Haiti's going to give a fight, but I think Saudi Arabia gets the win 2-1. Then we have Trinidad and Tobago versus Haiti. I have Trinidad winning 2-1 over Haiti. Trinidad gets their win in this group, which might be very vital. With that 2-1 win, they find a way. Haiti finished under Curacao during World Cup qualifying. Trinidad's the better team. Trinidad gets their win. Saudi Arabia 1, USA 0. USA, they don't have the squad to beat this Saudi Arabia team. No, they don't. It won't be an absolute bloodletting, but it will be a disaster with the result they had against Trinidad as well. And finally, Saudi Arabia 2-1 over Trinidad, because would I like to see Trinidad beat Saudi Arabia? Yes. Will they? No. Saudi Arabia's got enough quality to beat Trinidad. And finally, the USA 1-0 over Haiti. They at least get one. But watch this table. First place, Saudi Arabia 3-0-0, 9 points, 5 goals for, 2 goals against, plus 3 goal differential. Trinidad and Tobago in second place, 1-1-1, 4 points, 4 goals for, 4 goals against, 0 goal differential. If you counted, you see why. Third place, United States, 1-1-1, 4 points, 2 goals for, 2 goals against, 0 goal differential. Trinidad would advance on goals scored. Yes, they would advance on goals scored. And head-to-head's a draw, so it would be goals scored, yes. If head-to-head's a thing, it was a draw, so goals scored. Haiti, fourth place, 0-0-3, 0 points, 2 goals for, 5 goals against, minus 3 goal differential. I have Trinidad advancing over the USA. I have the USA getting grouped. Yeah, your draws are on the floor, right? They're getting grouped. They're getting grouped. I've seen enough. They're getting grouped by Trinidad and Saudi Arabia. Saudi first, Trinidad second, which means we have Saudi Arabia, Costa Rica, Mexico, Trinidad, Panama, Honduras, Canada, Jamaica in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinal 1, we have Saudi Arabia versus Costa Rica. I think Saudi Arabia wins that match in extra time. It's going to take a little bit longer than 90 minutes for Saudi Arabia to win. 2-1 in extra time, something along those lines. Costa Rica loses to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia moves on to the semifinals. Quarterfinal 2. We have Mexico versus Trinidad and Tobago. The Cinderella run ends here. Mexico advances. I think that's a pretty easy call. Quarterfinal 3. Panama versus Honduras. Panama gets the win over Honduras. Again, Panama's the best of the rest in CONCACAF. Of course, they're going to beat Honduras, who are just a little bit behind. And then quarterfinal 4, Canada versus Jamaica. Canada gets the win. Canada beats Jamaica because at this point, they should. At this point, they should. There you go. Also, a little bit of revenge for 2023's Nations League quarters as well. There you go. Semifinal 1, we have Saudi Arabia versus Canada. And Saudi Arabia is going to lose to Canada. Aha, I almost had you there. Canada wins. Canada wins. I think they're the better team. Saudi Arabia finally plays a team that, honestly, on paper is better than them. Canada, because they called up their A team, Canada gets the win. They go to the final. Semifinal 2, Mexico versus Panama. Mexico, just like the Nations League final, Mexico gets the win. And just like the Gold Cup final 2 years ago, Mexico gets the win. Which means our final is Canada versus Mexico. And this time, Canada, their past 2 games against Mexico, they've honestly been the better team against Vasco's Mexico. They've just drawn and then lost. At some point, it has to go their way. And I think it finally will at the Gold Cup final. Canada gets the win 2-1 at the Gold Cup final. Canada will win the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. They will get the trophy they've been so desperately waiting for. And a real trophy. And a real trophy, not just a Canadian Shield made-up trophy, a real trophy. They get the trophy we've all been wanting, waiting for, and hoping for this summer. They're going to get it. That is my prediction. The USA gets grouped, Mexico goes to the final, and Canada wins the trophy. And Saudi Arabia has a good account of themselves, and Panama has their moments. About what you would expect, right? Canada wins the Gold Cup is my prediction. Mexico, the runner-up. They do not go back-to-back. They go to the final, but they do not win back-to-back Gold Cups. With that being said, there you go. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow for the live watch along of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying round 3 draw. They'll draw round 3. I will see you for a live watch along of that. And then after that is over, I will recap round 2 and talk about the round 3 draw in the same video. So we will recap round 2 and then talk about the round 3 draw. So that might take 20-25 minutes as well. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See ya.